Just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. Now is anyone not ready? Cool.
Vote negative because the 1AC wasted 9 minutes of your life that you will never get back. There's no impact to voting affirmative. All they do is attempt to peddle you another attempt at individualistic self-help. The notion that you can maybe change your life by investing in their notion of a new meaning of death and new shamanism. But guess what? This is the same as what capitalism has been doing for millions of years. It's attempting to sell you images. It's attempting to sell you images of things that are claimed to be revolutionary, or maybe change your life forever. The same it's through self-help books or televangelism or dream catchers or it's even true. It's the same way it's true of the 1AC. They attempt to sell you shamanism. They say that you should undertake it as an individual goal, but all that does is make you further buy into the capitalist system. Now, here's the framing argument here's like the critical framing argument. Even if you think that we link as much as they do, or you think that we have no alternative, you still vote negative on presumption. If they can not win that their 1AC actually does anything, then that is a reason that you should sign your ballot negative. There's only a risk that they cause more capitalist damage, which means that all of their arguments that the no alt or their arguments that we link are going to simply be defensive arguments. All I have to win in this speech is that their 1AC as a political act does not do anything and rise into the capitalist system, and you can sign your ballot for the negative because 9 minutes of your life have been wasted. Now let's go on to the line by line. They said this how there's an unanswered question of solvency that voting negative solves that voting negative and that we attempt to solve neoliberalism. We never say we attempt to solve neoliberalism. However, what we do say is that you should go negative because they are co-opted into the neoliberal system. It's not a question of who solves what. We've critiqued that whole idea. It's a question of what impact framing they go under and what the framing of the affirmative is. If the framing of the affirmative occurs in a method, if the 1AC speech act occurs in a method that is negative, you vote for that ends up being bad, you vote for the negative. That means all I have to win is neoliberalism is bad, which is gone conceded in order for you to sign your ballot negative. Now they say that shamanism exists outside of Capital One. To win that shamanism exists outside of Capital, they have to win that they access shamanism in the first place. The critique is a question of solvency. They can't win a link turn if they don't get solvency. It means that they have to actually get access to this. If I win that your ballot has absolutely no political action, that means they don't get access to the rulings, or even if they win that shamanism exists in some sort of separate format outside of capitalism. Now, yes, Hakeem Bey does believe that shamanism is pretty cool, but if you read our Bay evidence, he also believes that pretty much everything is produced into capital. He believes that shamanism as an idea exists out of capital, but he believes that images of things are co-opted into capital. That means if they are simply an image of shamanism, which is what we've been describing the 1AC as all along, it will be co-opted. They have to be like true shamanism. If they're not like performing shamanic healing on you right here, then they can't access their shamanism impacts. That means that they're going to link to their own argument because they just create co-opted images of dissent. Now they say we enter a political economy. Explain why we don't care. Here, I'll do the long explanation of why we don't win the political economy. If we win the link, it necessarily means they don't get the argument that we also link to the political argument because of their arguments based off of fundamental misunderstanding of our negative link. It's not the fact. It's not the fact that they call for the ballot, but it's the fact that they try to do something with the ballot. Yes, everyone's going to call for the ballot because we all exist within the debate space. Obviously, there's going to be an attempt to the ballot, but if they attempt to do something with that ballot, that enters the form of magical thinking and self-help. No, the ballot doesn't change anything. No, it doesn't do shit. At best, all it does is get co-opted into neoliberalism, which is going to be worse. And now, if they win that this form of magical thinking is good, that justifies vote negative to reject patriarchy, ableism, heterosexism, and racism. racism, all of which are pretty bad things. I think you can win that voting negative to reject all of those is probably outweighs. Now, they say we don't solve by just answer that. They say they solve the root cause by changing the way we relate to death. Once again, that assumes the question of them actually changing the way. This is the link. They're doing anything for they make this argument that even if you do it on an individual basis, that's good. But this is the link. Doing things for the individual, or the individual as a locus point, is the foundational element of neoliberalism. Our Hegelman evidence is really good on when we say that the individual is the starting point, i.e. you as the judge of the starting point. That's the form of things that tries to sell you how to talk about for hippies, etc., which means that that is going to be the link. Call for the Hegelman evidence is pretty good. The top part of this. Now, they say they approach it for now perm debates. There are multiple conceded dissents to perm that they won't be able to solve. First is the co-option dissent, which is our frank evidence. It's really good at all they will do is be co-opted into a so-called counterculture. Like, yeah, man, let's go buy some weed so we can become entheogenic and it can perform some shamanic healing, but it doesn't. But all this does is become an image that is sold by Taco Bell to the consumer. There's also our conceded Harvey evidence, which indicates the alternative as a starting point is a prerequisite. I.e., we need to change we conceptualize neoliberalism first, which means that in order to be able to solve the act, which means that they do not get solvency without doing the act. Now, they say they approach it from multiple angles. This evidence is in the context of the state, not the act. It also never makes a good warrant as to why approaching things from multiple angles is good. All it says is we need multiple angles. There are no multiple angles. They don't get shit done.
339.
Yep.